Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking some seriously eye-opening source material that reveals something, frankly, pretty terrifying. We're looking at just how shockingly easy it is for someone to hack right into your phone and your home Wi-Fi. We're going to break down exactly how these attackers are getting in, and, much more importantly, how you can lock them out. As you'll see, it's actually a lot easier than you might think on both sides of the equation. So let's jump straight into the analysis.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want to ask you a serious question right off the bat. And, be honest with yourself here. Is your Wi-Fi password also 123456? The source points out that an overwhelming number of people treat their network security with just total casualness. They set up incredibly weak passwords exactly like this one, and the material bluntly points out that relying on a password this simple means absolutely anyone, literally just a random guy sitting in a car down the street, can break into your system without even breaking a sweat.
Section 1. The easy target.
So, we usually picture cybersecurity as this highly complex sci-fi battleground that takes supercomputers to breach, right? But the source highlights a chilling contrast between your average user and a pro hacker. On one side, you've got the average user who relies entirely on basic, easy-to-guess passwords, thinking that's the main wall keeping them safe. But on the flip side, professional hackers, they don't even bother trying to guess those basic passwords. It's kind of beneath them. Instead, they completely bypass the front door and target the system's underlying infrastructure. Specifically, they exploit the network setup protocols. They aren't trying to guess your pet's name. They're going straight for the machine's architecture.
Let's move to Section 2, Pro Hackers' Real Weapons.
This leads us to a massive vulnerability the source really hammers home. WPS. That stands for Wi-Fi Protected Setup. Now, this is meant to be a super convenient network standard so you can easily connect devices without typing in endless codes. But here is the truly terrifying part that the source emphasizes. On almost all routers, this feature is dangerously left on by default straight out of the box. Because it comes activated from the factory, you probably don't even know it's running in the background. It acts as an immediate, wide-open door for attackers before you've even finished plugging your router into the wall.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how that vulnerability is weaponized. The attacker's method is just remarkably simple. Step 1. They target that default active WPS that you didn't even know was turned on. Step 2. They run automated software that cycles through specific algorithmic combinations against that WPS setup. Because WPS relies on a really simple numerical PIN instead of a complex password, the result is instantaneous. Bam! Step 3. They bypass your security and instantly hack the password. They didn't crack your secret code. The WPS flaw just handed them the keys to your entire network.
Now, what's really interesting about this next bit is how the source breaks down the hacker hierarchy right alongside their corresponding software tools. For what they jokingly call the kids, or, the beginners, the tool of choice is Wireshark. Moving up to the men, or the serious practitioners, they use the highly powerful environment of Kali Linux. And finally, for the legends, the absolute top-tier hackers who effortlessly break into systems, their go-to weapon is a tool called Reaver. It's super fascinating to see this whole subculture categorized entirely by the specific software they use to attack us.
But why do they use these exact specific tools? Well, prepare yourself because here is the most terrifying detail from the source material. It is not because they are super expensive, top-secret government programs. No, it's because they are completely free. Every single one of these powerful hacking tools, from Wireshark all the way up to Reaver, is readily available online at absolutely zero cost. The financial barrier to entry for someone wanting to compromise your home network is literally $0.
Let's shift gears to Section 3, the Defense Manual, how to keep yourself safe.
So, the absolutely crucial point here comes down to the number 16. The very first rule from the source is that we have to stop messing around with short, lazy passwords. You need to upgrade your security posture today, and that means setting your Wi-Fi password to an absolute minimum of 16 digits. No more 123456. A 16-character password makes those brute force guessing attacks we just talked about mathematically, pretty much impossible for an average attacker to crack.
Let's put this into a clear, methodical action plan to protect your home Wi-Fi and your phone. Here is the exact 3-step defense sequence provided in the source. Step 1, like we just covered, establish that 16-digit password minimum. Step 2, log into your router settings today and turn off WPS. Just close that factory default backdoor immediately so tools like Reaver can't exploit it. And Step 3, shifting focus over to your phone. Stay away from public Wi-Fi. Free coffee shop or airport networks are notorious hunting grounds for attackers looking to easily intercept your data.
Now, the source acknowledges reality here. Sometimes you're traveling, you're in a pinch, and you absolutely must use public Wi-Fi to send an email or check something for work. If it's completely unavoidable, there is a strict caveat. You have to use a VPN. A virtual private network encrypts your data. If you're logging onto an open network, firing up a VPN isn't just optional, it's a mandatory defense mechanism to make sure anyone snooping around on that network cannot read your phone's traffic.
And the source actually leaves us with a pretty funny, specific piece of advice. They say, use a VPN. It's not just to turn on at 12 a.m. The implication being, whatever your late-night internet browsing habits might be that require total privacy, you need to use that exact same software in broad daylight when you're just sipping a latte at a public cafe. Honestly, it's a very practical security point that makes for a highly memorable takeaway.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. So I want to leave you with this final, pressing question. Are your digital doors still wide open right now? Is your WPS still active on that home router? Is your password way too easy to guess? We've just gone through the blueprint to secure your digital life. The real question now is whether you'll take 5 minutes the moment this analysis ends to log into those settings, check that password length, and shut the hackers out for good. Thank you so much for exploring this with me, and stay safe out there.